bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the Speakeasy for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with Soul Joel himself, Joel Richardson, and tonight we have a very special guest, the creator of Miss Troy and Aunt Mary Pat, Troy Hendrickson.
Hello.
It's good to see you, bud.
It's good to see you guys too. Thanks for having me.
You look good. You smell good. I realized I should have not worn my favorite pants. You always see me in these.
I know. It's your uniform, I thought. I just assumed like you have, like Mr. Rogers, you have 10 of the same outfit that you...
These are my Tuesday pants. These are my Wednesday pants. These are my Thursday pants.
Because I get this about the jerseys all the time. I can do with Joel about the pants.
There you go.
Like, you look good. You smell good. He goes, well, I shower.
I showered. Spritzed. You
Yeah.
know.
You do look good, though, man.
Well, thank you.
Are you enjoying
I've been on vacation for 3 months, so that'll do it for you.
You've actually worked as much as people go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, we did our final show here.
Yeah.
Which was June 17th.
That was a roast.
The roast.
The roast.
And then I left for my cruise like 3 days later and then haven't stopped traveling since. It was the first time I had like more than 2 days off, I think, in the past 5 years. So it's been like...
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
We went on a Mediterranean cruise, so went all over Greece and Italy and Turkey, Barcelona, Spain, and then I went to Disney.
Nice.
And then I went to China and did...
Whoa.
Yeah.
There was a left turn.
Went
Cool.
to China, did Shanghai Disney and Hong Kong Disney. And
Neat.
is there a theme here? Yeah, Disney.
Yeah, I'm sensing.
Some people go to therapy. I just go to Disney and same effect,
But you got the pass now, right?
I have the annual pass. Well, I had to, I was just bleeding money at
Just
giving it to the mouse and
Orlando back and forth.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I funded the taxes in Florida for a while, so I guess I'm.
But you've been to Disneyland, Disney World, Paris.
Yep, Shanghai. Well, we just have Tokyo left,
Just Tokyo.
and I've been to all.
That's it.
That's it.
There's 5?
There's 6.
Six.
One more left.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah. How was the Mediterranean cruise?
It was really good. There's a lot of swingers on cruise ships, and that's always fun to.
All right. Keep talking.
Fun to discover. Like, this guy is really friendly. Yeah. I feel like it's you with any gay man. You're like, he is such a nice guy.
I don't know what that means, but we'll edit this in post.
You're like, Troy, your friend is so nice, but he shakes hands odd. Put it right down the back of my pants.
Yeah. I mean, put your hand on your wallet, not my pee-pee.
Maybe he was reaching for it and got lost.
I like how I crossed my legs like that as we were talking. Do I really have to mirror image, Troy?
Yes.
As I wore my uniform?
Your uniform. I went casual so you could shine.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So it was promiscuous or?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to. What's the word I'm looking for?
Dime yourself out.
Yeah, I'm not going to kiss and tell. But I'll just say that old Australian people have a really good time.
Oh, really?
On cruise ships. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like, I mean, how can you have a bad time in the Mediterranean?
No, you can't.
Went to Mykonos, that was great. Went to Montenegro, and that was really fun. And got hit on by an old Dutch guy, and it's just, didn't understand a word he was saying, but he was very, very friendly. And
if you know what I mean. I think I do.
that was like the longest I've been away from home ever in my entire life. It was 20 days from fly out to, return home.
No kidding. That's a long.
It was very long. And by the end, I was like, I think I'm ready to.
You actually got you got your vacation in.
Yeah.
So you think that's the extent, like 20 days?
I think it
like
was too long for me. I think like 2 weeks max for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I think. But even then, I'm like, there's just certain things you miss about home and Philly and the smells and I mean I flew to Myrtle Beach. I did a show down there.
Yeah.
And we flew back, and that's when the Canadian wildfires and all the clouds and smells. And I landed in Philly, and it was one of the outdoor tarmacs. So we got off the plane. I was like, Philly, and they're like, no, that's the Canadian wildfire. I was like, I couldn't tell the difference. It just smelled like home to me.
You're not wrong. But this day in particular, there's some outside interference.
There was. But I mean, I couldn't tell. I was like, refinery.
But that's what people don't realize is that you were on the grind, sometimes doing, and I've seen it, 2 or 3 shows. Like you'll leave here, you'll do a brunch, another brunch, and then an afternoon show or like a night show.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 night shows.
Well, if you're in charge, 3 night shows. Come on, buddy, we can do it.
This episode is brought. I mean, we haven't talked about the, all right.
We'll get into it. Yeah, no, it was crazy for a while because like there were times, especially in the beginning, like I just didn't have like boundaries, and I was like, yes to everything because it was exciting to me, and it was just like in my mind, when I started performing full time, I was like, I don't want this to end prematurely, so I'm going to say yes to everything, and then after I do it, I can say no next time if it doesn't work out.
Right on.
But then it was like, I remember one year, like we had done like so many Christmas shows, and it was like the day after Christmas, and I had no voice left.
Yeah.
I was like ragged. Like I actually looked like Aunt Mary Pat should have looked like, and I was just.
You're no longer putting on makeup. You're like, this is how I look.
I was actually like putting on concealer to look younger than a 55-year-old woman.
This is unnecessary, hon.
Oh God.
Well, I tell people the 2 shows we did at Rivers, I'm checking people in, and like the last 30 people almost try to trample me like Walmart on Black Friday.
Yeah. And
they don't understand that I have to go on stage before I introduce Aunt Mary. Like they thought at 6:59 they better go in because 7 o'clock Aunt Mary Pat's coming on stage. Like it got wild. They're like, this is it, this is the finale, hon.
Was that one of the events where they thought you were Aunt Mary Pat? And
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is. Yeah. They're like, so you're Aunt Mary Pat?
No.
Yes. I was like, this is not 5 o'clock shadow.
Like, wait, you're telling me that Smokey Joe is not Aunt Mary Pat?
Yeah. They're like, I've been to your place, Smokey Joe's. I have the shirt on.
Smokey Joe.
Yeah, this says Smokey Joe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. Close enough.
Your fan base.
Smokey
Smart.
Joe.
Smokey Joe.
Good old Smokey Joe.
Well, and then
That sounds like a guy
if we
Aunt
get
Mary
to
Pat used to date.
yes, the roast. You had one of the best lines, and it killed me. They're like, Brendan, Joel, they've all been riding my coattails for a while, but I'm really happy that Joel has his place. I just feel bad whenever this place closes down and reopens as a Spirit of Halloween in 3 months.
Close. I said.
And that is why I got into producing.
I said, Joel, congratulations on having your own place. Please don't be surprised when this place reopens as Spirit Halloween in 3 months.
Yep. See how he trimmed the fat?
Yep.
I
This
said
is the
two.
meat.
Cut it down.
I was like
Nice.
that.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
that
done.
3rd grade exercise. We were like, what sentence can be eliminated in this paragraph?
I
Let's
was
just
really-
get to the funny.
that was actually the
fastest.
first joke I wrote for the roast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
No kidding.
it was a real hit.
Good enough Joel almost remembered it.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
I'm glad the joke didn't get cut.
Joel proofread all my jokes. He was like, cut that last one out. Just- we don't need it.
Yeah, dude, people were like Facebook messaging. They're like, "Are you okay up there?" Just checking in on a friend.
I actually don't think I've laughed that hard before in my life. Like everyone was so on fire that night.
Oh, my gosh.
That, like I was last, obviously, and I was like, I'm so afraid to get up here because everyone has been so
Same.
good.
That's why I was so glad. I'll go first. It's gonna stink, but I'll get it out of the way.
Right.
You had some humdingers in
Oh,
there.
thanks.
It was a great starting point.
We'll talk about it since you brought it up. No, yeah, it was a good starting point. That's it. Kind of said my thing, and it kind of hit hard because the senator right before or congressman hit me up about the whole, and I just like, dude, like I'm not trying to groom children, and like that's just ridiculous. These are entertainers. We're coming out like I'm trying to. This is an inclusive event, and I felt like I was on my soapbox, but I felt like I needed to say it too.
I love it,
Especially
dude.
because Joel thought grooming children was like doing their hair in the morning. So he was really confused about
He
that.
actually planned an event, I think.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Well, that was like another thing too. We did Pridezilla, and we had Jess Curson as the headliner, and
One of
she's
our-
amazing.
one of the
Yeah.
best.
And with drag shows, we ran over, some time.
Dude, okay, for real quick, that was the first time in my 17 years of producing shows where we had multiple shows on one day, and the first show ended the same time the second show did.
You're welcome. we
Congratulations, Jimbo.
we run over time. And people are starting to come in who bought the Jess Curson only tickets, and they're like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And they're like, obviously I'm extremely gay, and people are walking in and they're confused and almost horrified. I'm like, don't act like you don't know that Jess Curson is a big old lesbian.
Yes.
And you're upset about a drag queen, please.
If you don't know,
I
you're
know.
not paying attention.
Exactly. Are you at the right show?
Yeah, seriously, man. Because she talks about it every 5 minutes.
She will let you know before you even ask.
Darn right, man. Darn right. And
that's why I love her.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
a killer, man. She's one of my favorites.
It was super fun. That's literally one of the best days, best shows I've ever been most stressful, but definitely the best event that I've
It was
been a part
amazing,
of.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it
The
was
turnout
really
was
fun.
amazing. It was so cool.
It was
Well,
great.
normally you go over time, you always give people what they like. One more song, one
Yeah.
more song, and
Do we have time for one more, Joel?
yeah, which is an on-running joke. I'm like, but it's fine. But that time he actually, in character for Aunt Mary Pat, stretched because Jimbo had to go back and change into her second outfit. So, no problem.
No problem. I'll fill. But the thing with Jimbo is, he is such an incredible performer, and he wears these giant prosthetic pieces. So it takes a really decent amount of time to switch into these.
Yeah.
It's not like Joel changing into pants number
No,
two.
no. My eyes are up here, Alan.
He's the Mr. Rogers of drag. You go in, open up,
Yeah.
take out the same outfit, put it on.
Right. Now, do you think Jimbo knew at that time that he was going to win?
I cannot confirm or deny. So what they do for RuPaul's Drag Race, which I found out working with entertainers who are on the show, when they pre-film the finale.
Okay.
And they film each person in the finale winning.
Get out.
So,
I didn't. Oh, that's wild.
So the contestants don't know until it actually airs on TV if they won or not.
Oh.
So they're watching live, like we're watching.
That's crazy.
And when the episode airs, they find out if they won or not.
So they're all acting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's,
So
that's priceless.
And even crazier is they also film a tie between the top two contestants.
Oh.
So that's also another option that they're not sure if that's going to happen or not.
so they have to do ties among all the possible pairs?
Yeah. So sometimes there's 3 finalists, sometimes there are 2.
Okay, I
So they'll
see.
do a tie. So they're filming 5 different reactions.
Yeah.
To
They're like, congratulations, Jimbo, you just won. I'm like, I better win, bitch.
fucking win.
That's wild.
Yeah. So when he was here, he knew he was in the finale, but he couldn't confirm that with us.
Right.
But,
Okay.
just wasn't sure if his winning was going to air.
But he'd already filmed the win.
Already filmed the reaction to possibly winning.
That's incredible. Incredible.
That's wild. But he was great to work with. She was great, and I understand why she brought her assistant because of all those outfits.
Who's also her husband, which we found out.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah. And it was really cool. Just the opportunity to work with someone who, could possibly win $200,000 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Wild.
With, the OG of all OGs
Yeah.
in that world.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
And we posted about her winning, and then people messaged me with you got to book her. I go, she was just here. She's like, well, you got to book her again. I go, you don't think that price tag just went up?
Yeah. Right.
Didn't double in
Yeah. It's wild.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Bing.
So crazy.
Amazing.
So, what was it like saying goodbye to the character, or just putting
Farewell.
Farewell.
It was a very emotional moment for me. Like I said, I was cracking up the entire night, and then once I finished my set, it just kind of hit me, and it was a wave of emotions. But it was such a cool experience, and I'm glad because we worked together so much that we were able to do it here and
Yeah.
kind of have that moment. And to see like so many people, come in afterwards, and we did like the after party in Gatsby's, and they came up to me and were like crying and just like full of joy and
so cool.
falling down the steps because they had too many White Claws, and that's just my mom. So
And all people over 60.
I said it once, I'll say it again. We don't even sell White Claws.
but she had them. I don't know where she got them, but she had them.
Yeah. That's so funny. But and your fan base is so loyal, where they'll come out to multiple shows and keep track of how many shows they've been to, and come out. They love Aunt Mary Pat.
Yep, they'll do whatever they can to get to the front of the stage if it means
Right.
Seen some of those rushes.
Because we've always had bigger crowds, I'll open up the doors instead of an hour. I'll make it 90 minutes, so it kind of eases in. And it doesn't matter. They always show up 30 minutes before whatever that number is.
Yeah, 30 minutes before the pre-open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Springsteen concert.
We're very similar. It's just
Same crowd, probably.
probably actually.
I mean, not to name specific people, but Ronnie and her husband, they brought their therapy dog to Rivers Casino because that's what a therapy dog wants, an overstimulated.
Well, I was told that
Casino.
my voice is calming to the dog.
Yeah.
And also that dog was at like 14 shows, much more than some humans. So
Yeah.
it's really impressive.
Amazing. That's amazing.
And was Miss Troy your first character?
No. So like when I was in college, and like
This is in Chicago.
actually before college, like when I was in, I guess, middle school and high school, I remember like I think it was 8th grade, I got a video camera for Christmas.
Oh boy, here we go.
And yeah, that's the beginning of it all, and hopefully those videos don't resurface. But yeah, I just do like different like characters, like impersonations and stuff like that, and it just kind of like that's where I really got my start. It wasn't comedy or drag. It was more like just filming like little videos, and then obviously that was before Facebook. So once I was in college and got Facebook, then I would upload them, and that was like before people could see. Like, so I would tag like 100 of my friends and force them to watch it. And
Yeah.
most of the comments like, "What the fuck is this?" And so just watch my video. And
They're not
then-
all going to be hits.
They're not all gonna be hits. A lot of misses, and then a lot of misses.
I understand that.
Yeah, and then after college, I got into drag, and that's when I started like performing live and my own character, Miss Troy, and still doing impersonations and stuff. And then
Who are you impersonating, if you don't mind me asking? I love that.
I did Miley Cyrus a lot,
I love it.
and I she's just so the way that she talks and her nose all the time is just very cool, and just like silly things like that, and
Obviously your mom is where.
that's like that was with Aunt Mary Pat, Super Bowl night, and I still have the video. I wasn't even in character, but she called me and I was just making fun of her voice, and woke up the next morning and rewatched it. I was like, oh, I should just like put a little character together and
So cool.
tag her in it, and then that just took off. And that's like one of those things, there's been so many videos that I was like, I'm so proud of this, it's so funny, I cannot wait for people to see it, and then it just like tanks.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then that one I was like, this is not funny at all. But
It's a throwaway.
My
It's like
mom
a
will,
throwaway.
Yeah, my mom will be so upset, so that's funny to me. Right. Put it on there.
Worth it alone right there.
Well,
And I was like, holy shit.
yeah.
And that's the one that blows up.
That's the
man.
one that
How
blows
quick,
up.
Like, what was the you put it out, and how quick did it blow up?
I put it out, and like within an hour, people were like, "Oh my god, make this public so I can share it." And then probably about like 3 hours, it was up to like 100,000 views.
What?
3
Something like that.
hours?
And that was just
That's
on
insane.
my personal Facebook. It wasn't like a YouTube or a page.
You
or
hadn't
anything
made
like
it.
that.
You hadn't
Incredible.
created the page yet.
No.
Or even named the character.
Didn't even name the character. There was no name.
Jeez, man.
It was just just a person talking to the camera about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Incredible.
The Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles. And then by like the next day, I want to say it was like over 300,000. I had so many people contacting me from different like news sites and things like that. And yeah,
You must have just been like, whoa.
I did a really stupid Aunt Mary Pat video because like I didn't plan on doing anything else with this character, but people were asking for more, so I was like doing like little things like. I was like doing like scratch offs and making pasta, and I did one where I was like having a mimosa for the snow day, and it was so dumb, but BuzzFeed picked it up. They're like, we want to want to make this video and post it out. And I was like so embarrassed. So why did they pick the dumbest video to like put on BuzzFeed? But it was just like one of those things. And from then on, I was like, okay, I have to really like write out who this character is.
Yes.
You know, who they're related to, where they fit in this world.
The backstory.
So that's where like the acme came from, and you know, Uncle Larry and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think that's where your perseverance paid off, but also like when you got burnt out, because you would constantly come up with a new tour and a new theme, new songs, and you kept reinventing the character to keep it relevant, so people would keep coming out.
Astonishing.
And then for a season, you know, with your summer down the shore and then your wintertime Christmas tour, it gets exhausting.
Yeah.
To try to keep
The output is amazing, man. Like
Thanks.
one of those acts could legit do Vegas for 5 straight years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just kept turning them around. It's just really cool.
It was like really crazy. Like January, February kind of slowed down every year just because it snows and people stay in more, and that was like kind of my break because it was a little slower there. But like Joel said, summertime jam-packed, wintertime jam-packed, and then we just had like other events that just like kind of popped up, or you know, private events, parties. And so I'm like up, down, all over the place, back and forth throughout like the tri-state. And I'm losing my voice already. I haven't even been talking that much.
I noticed that a few minutes ago, but I didn't want to say anything.
Let me wet
There
the
we
whistle
go.
then. Excuse me.
There we go.
With the old whistle, a little Cabernet hunt.
So yeah, like it was just see, I'm back, and it was just you know, the craziest thing, because like I love to travel. We talked about that earlier, but you can only see like 95 so many times before you're like, I hate this place.
Yeah.
It's so miserable.
Up north and down south and back and forth and back and
Exactly.
forth.
And I
I've
was
known
like-
several people over the years on that circuit. Yep.
Yeah. So you can only see it so many times.
That's priceless.
Yeah. But that
How
would
many
not.
Cracker
That's,
Barrel signs can you stare at, right?
Yeah. Well, then
South of the
Joel like
border.
moves his club further and further and further away. So like, there's 15 extra minutes on.
but his mom, when we were in Royersford inside, this is where the Aunt Mary Pat character comes alive. His mom goes, so what does Joel do the rest of the weeks? Like, she thought I just opened up a club for her son.
So awesome.
She's like, I mean, he sells out now. Like, this weekend's great. But what does he do?
What else does he do? And I was like, I don't know, Mom. He has comics here. And she was
Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
She goes, hopefully he's not up there for an hour. I said, no, he gives a solid 8.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe 10 I'll lie about and do 7. Don't go. Well, you have tons of stories like that. We won't go into it.
No, I'll tell you the worst one.
Oh, what?
So like we were.
I
in
mean,
this-
we didn't right off the top of your head.
I got it.
Go.
It sits rent free in my brain.
Oh, this is fun.
We had a show, and Joel is opening up. We're getting dressed upstairs. and
Middletown,
Joel's
Delaware.
outside.
I remember.
Middletown.
Yep.
And Joel's like, I'll do 10 minutes, hit your track, and then you know, you can come out and blah blah. I was like, okay, cool. So 5 minutes go by. And Joel is like red in the face, sweating, runs up the stairs like, your music's on. I was like, that was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What? He was like, yeah. I just said a couple things and I hit the tracks. So you better get out there.
Sometimes I feel the heat. I get out of the kitchen.
I was like, holy shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was, dude. And that included 1 minute of the track.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, get out here.
Would you do a solid 3?
Music's on.
I was in better shape then.
But you know, for like a headliner, and you have like, you know, kind of the setup in your head, it's good to have a person who sticks to their time. Sometimes, no names mentioned, but we did a show, and I had 2 opening acts, and like I was like, I want to do my thing and get out of there that night. And we had a host who was supposed to do 10, did 20.
Oh, boy.
Then we had an opening act who was supposed to do 15 and did 32.
Jeez.
This was not me.
It wasn't you. Definitely wasn't you. But I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, oh my God.
Dude, if the headliner is trying to get your attention, you get the hell
I
off.
just want to go home. It's not like the Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, telethon. Like,
Yeah.
say your piece and get off.
Oh, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But I do
See,
love
bands-
when he goes off, when you go off script.
Yeah.
And you because he has the wit to come back and like get heckled all the time, and it like just snaps right back.
We had
love that.
a lady in, oh my God, where was it? It was Newtown, PA, if I'm not mistaken. And she had visited the bar a few times, and she got up in the middle of the show and walked up to the stage, and I was like, oh God.
Oh, no.
She was like, I just want to say I love you. I was like, oh, thank you, I love you too. And then she was like, you know who else I love? My boyfriend over there.
What?
But he got his ticket late, so we're sitting separate. And this whole thing played out.
Oh, wow.
No.
And then like they escorted her out, and I was like, I just want to see how this plays out. Just pay attention. And I'm like actively watching.
Wait, you said that to the crowd?
I'm on the stage, talking
Yeah.
to the crowd. I was like, I want to see how this plays
because
out.
she's so drunk that she thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, she definitely
like,
thought it
I
was a
could
great
just
idea.
talk like there's not 300 other people in this room.
And then she went to the bathroom, and they let her come back in, and she walked out, and she was like,
Oh, jeez.
she was like, I'll be silent. But then she wasn't. She got up again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very, very into it. Very enthused.
Once that type starts, they never stop.
The first time at your club when we were upstairs for
Yeah.
the Christmas show, do you remember the lady who like got up and tried to hit me? But like the tables were so close together, she couldn't like get there.
She was the one that was outside, okay? And when you go to a show, you could see that people are like disheveled.
Yeah.
So she was outside, and people came up and they were like, "How was the early show?" She goes, "I'm here for this one." She comes back in, and I'm in the like basically like he said, we're going through the lineup. I'm about to go on. I think Brendan Donegan was on that show in particular. So now Brendan's on, and I'm about to bring up Aunt Mary Pat. She walks into she meant to walk outside to smoke another cigarette. She walks into the green room, makes direct eye contact with Aunt Mary Pat, and goes, "I think I'm in love." And for a second, I go, "Oh, I think," and I was like, "Oh no, not me, her."
Yeah, we've had a lot of interesting people at what was the place in. Oh my God, I'm forgetting that place that lost their liquor license.
Oh yes, in Ben Salem.
Yeah.
Water's Edge.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna name names. but-
Oh.
No, it's fine. She
That's what Joel does.
the thing with like BYOB is that people have no self-control.
Oh, yeah.
And so like she came to me after the show and she was like, I just want to say I'm in love with you. And I was like, oh, thank you. And she's like, can I have sex with you? I was like, that's not going to happen. She's like, well, can I go to the bathroom with you? I was like, that's not going to happen. She goes, can I just watch you pee? And I was like,
What?
Also not going to happen, but I love her tenacity she just went a little lower.
Man, all the fun stuff happens to you.
I mean, I'm sure she might watch you pee. She would settle for that.
What a voyeur.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Wow. Sex to bathroom.
Well, but hasn't some women, grabbed you in the no-no? And
Oh, yeah.
And said, I'm going to change you and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, what, my clothes? I don't know. It was actually the same night the lady tried to punch me at your club.
Oh.
They were taking a picture, and all of a sudden I feel like a cold hand on my bare ass, and she went lower and lower. I was like,
Going for the backward ball cup.
I was like, yeah, exactly. Trying to do the old reach around.
and I think David, who plays
Cousin Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
sure.
I was gonna say Sherry, but that's the other wrong. Yeah,
okay.
different show.
Different show.
And still dressed in drag goes, honey, you barking up the wrong tree.
That's great.
I keep thinking lower and lower into
Yeah,
this
I
couch.
know, I
It's
know.
almost
Yeah,
too comfortable.
It's a challenge. It's
Yeah.
a challenge.
So and then that's one of the things where I always gave you credit for staying in character as either Miss Troy or Aunt Mary Pat. And I'm like, I don't know how Troy does this all the time. And then I saw a Facebook post, and he was coming out of Starbucks, which he used to be a barista, but he has to. He books his hotel and his travel based where the closest Starbucks is.
It's kind of a
I
problem.
like your priorities.
Yeah, got to get his fix. So said it was like a windy day in March, right? And goes his hat flew off, and instead there was a bunch of construction workers there, and it goes, oh no, my wig! And they all turned around, was like, wig? His hat just flew off.
And I was like,
I go, oh, he doesn't hold it together.
I'll see myself out. Well, to be fair, I hadn't had my coffee yet. I just ordered it.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So
There you
Part
go.
of my
Enough said.
manners. I'll watch the way
Enough
I speak
please,
to you.
please watch how you speak to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. That being said, I found every Starbucks in Shanghai and Hong Kong.
Did you really?
I did.
Love it. Oh, that's
Mapped
awesome.
it out.
But
That's
that,
awesome.
That takes effect in your international travel as well.
It's
It's harder and harder, probably. Right?
I would love to say no, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, if there's anything like that I'm grateful for is that you can find a Starbucks in any country or any place on earth, really.
Yeah.
Like they're there.
What's your
And
order?
they're watching.
What's your go-to order?
Do you really want to know?
I do.
Iced venti Americano with 7 shots of espresso, 3 pumps of toffee nut, and coconut milk.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's my go-go juice.
To start your morning?
To start my day.
Wow.
I just almost dropped my mic.
Holy crap.
Dude, 7
That's
shots of
amazing.
espresso?
I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
my God.
Oh, so that's another thing. In Shanghai, I went and there was a little bit of a language barrier, and I was trying to like type in Google Translate, but it wasn't.
I'm an addict.
I'm an addict. I was like shaking at this point.
Como se dice addict?
That's Spanish.
I know. So, speaking of which.
So I ordered, and the 7 shots in 1 cup didn't translate. So like, I'm like watching them make my drink. I was like, that doesn't look right. And there's no one else in the store. And all of a sudden they hand me 7 coffees, and I was like, no, just one. It was like a whole thing. And then they were trying to like refund me. I was like, I don't need a refund. I just need a coffee because I'm like on edge right now. And it was cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So I was like doing the math. I'm bad at math, but 7 shots times 7 drinks.
49.
49. See, you're good with numbers.
That's a lot, dude.
Dang.
I didn't drink them all.
Oh.
I mean, even he has his limits.
I have limits. I have standards and limits.
I mean, don't you go on vacation to get away from it all?
Yeah, exactly. But I also don't want my heart to stop. So, yeah.
His heart runs on Starbucks.
Yes, right.
America may run on Dunkin', but I run on Starbucks.
Nice.
That's the
nice.
joke I was trying to formulate, and that's
Yeah,
why I'm
that's
not a
why I'm
headliner.
here.
That's why I'm doing a tight 7. You know what's so funny is being your talent manager. We got the phone call when you made your big post about struggling with anxiety.
Yeah.
and they want to really cover you. It was the same day that I made my announcement that we were leaving Royersford. Which.
We probably should communicate it there.
Yeah. By the way, it was my baby. I don't have kids. You know what I mean? So I was like, they called me up. They're like, oh my goodness, we want to totally cover your story. I go, that's amazing. They're like, yeah, you're struggling with anxiety. I go, I'll call Troy right now. I'll have There's always 2 shows going on, one for the audience, one for the comics. That was, dude. It was so. I would go. That makes more sense. I'll be. Please hold. Hey Troy, ABC wants to talk to you.
Send them over.
Yeah. I was like, this makes more sense.
He's like, if you could also plug my club, that would be great.
No, you would have been.
You know what
plugging-
cures depression?
Yeah, by the way,
going to Soul Joel's.
No, you would have been plugging someone that's homeless.
Please plug the next park I'll be doing my next show in.
You were only homeless for a little bit.
I know.
He always figures it out, man.
Puts
that
hair on
was-
the chest.
That was amazing, though. I think you connected with so many people, and it still do, so many people a voice.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't my intention, but I'm glad that, me sharing what I was going through helped other people not feel so I think it's such a normal thing to deal with anxiety and depression. I know we talked about it
Yeah,
before.
for
the
sure.
show.
I've dealt with it my whole life.
But it's not ordinary to be open to talking about it.
Right.
People are, especially when I was growing up, like going to therapy was like a very taboo thing.
Big time.
Like you were like, there's
Pussy.
something wrong with you if you're
You're a
going
guy,
to
fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but it's become more of a normal conversation now, thanks to me. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks to people being open to sharing what they're going through. Especially like I think COVID, particularly, there was such a rise in suicide, and people were like, well, why? Like, why would they be why would they do that? And it's like, probably because they have no one to talk to about what they're going through.
Right.
And someone along the way made them feel very self-conscious about trying to seek help for it.
I'm 100%
and
with you.
I think that was a real eye-opener for me because, prior to that, I had never really dealt with what I thought was anxiety and depression. And then it just like escalated. And then, going to therapy and talking to my therapist, she was like, no, you've probably always had this. It just was in a different way. And it's manifested now to the forefront of your life.
Did you start seeing things from a different angle as when you were a kid and stuff? 'Cause
Yeah.
once I figured it out, I was like, holy shit, that explains an awful lot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I've been anxious my whole life.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
The door was open to my kindergarten class on the first day of school, right?
Yeah.
My mom got me there late. Thanks, Mom. And love you. And and I took one look at a class full of screaming kids and sprinted back out to the car and locked myself in it for an hour.
Yeah.
That's how it started for me. And once I figured out that I had social anxiety disorder, which is the way it comes out for me specifically, which is really funny that I'm sitting here on camera talking to you right now. You know what I mean? And the mayor of Soljols and all that shit, right? But for me to get to that point, took a lot. Took a lot. Yeah.
I think for me, especially in high school and middle school, I was a very introverted extrovert. Mm-hmm. So I was in front of people very loud, but there's a time, and there's still this, I am so content being alone and not being around people all the time that simple things when I'm in that mindset, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go to the grocery store. And I'm definitely one of those people who go on DoorDash and leave it at the door. And then there's always that one driver who knocks, and I'm like, oh God,
Diving behind the couch and shit. Yeah.
Don't you read?
Literally the other night, because where I live, people get lost a lot. And it said your driver's dropping off your order, and it was 5 minutes, and I didn't see her. So I opened up the door, and I saw her turn the corner. I was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
and just dropped down on the floor.
It's like a pilot caught in a holding pattern.
But then I can do a
Land the plane.
but then I can do a show in front of 2,000 people and be super comfortable on stage.
And it's hard for people to understand that.
Yeah, it's a different.
It's a different
mindset.
thing. Yeah, it's a different thing. Going to the grocery store is different than performing.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally understand. I haven't gone to the grocery store since COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's so
See,
funny.
for me, and I made a joke about it, during my set, but that was my escape for a little bit. Was leaving the house and going to the grocery store.
Right on,
And
right
just
on.
circling the aisles and getting orange juice, but being there for an hour.
Being on vacation with Danny, I almost saw you guys commenting back and forth. I go, they're probably at dinner right now across from each other, commenting on each other's social media.
1,000%. There will be times where we'll just be sitting on the couch and watching different videos and completely not communicate, and then
Yeah.
I'll text him.
Yeah.
I sit right next to him.
Hi, it's me.
Can you
Come
turn
over
it
here.
down? You may remember me from sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
oh, my biggest anxiety thing was when Craigslist was still around.
Oh, yeah.
And I would read the missed encounters.
Oh,
Yes.
And just make sure,
you too?
just make sure
Not
I
kidding.
wasn't on there, because I saw this post one time. It was you farted in Kroger, and I was like, can you imagine if you did something embarrassing and someone caught that and posted it on Craigslist Craigslist?
And didn't just forget about it when they walked out the store. They've been trying to locate you.
Just like the smell of the fart, it lingered, and they posted about it. But I did not fart in Kroger. It wasn't me. We don't have a Kroger near here.
Yeah, luckily.
Thankfully.
Couldn't have been you.
Couldn't have been me.
Yeah.
That's great. That missed.
So what's next?
Nothing. No, just I'm doing this. I'm doing little things right now. Obviously, we still have a drag production company, and we have a great drag brunch here. We have it, in all over, and that's been really successful. And that takes up a lot of my time, and I really enjoy that.
You started a podcast. Now you're going to
I
continue
will
that?
be.
Okay.
It was another thing. I literally have all the equipment sitting on my dining room table since January, and
Blow the dust off it.
just the ant. I clean it every week.
Okay.
But just it's kind of one of those things where it's a great idea. I know I would be good with it, but doing all that work for it to not be what I want it to be would be so I don't know, devastating. So it's you have to get over that hurdle of what could happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's like, so yeah.
You're afraid to fail. In
afraid
a
to
sense.
fail in a sense, but it's not like if 2 people watch or 200,000 people watch, it's just like the quality of the product.
You want it to be up to your standard.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's
that's
like him. It's him on Instagram. He's got all these followers, but hasn't posted once. Talk about disappointing the people.
I
What do they
have a
follow?
few you can borrow.
There you
I'll
go.
send them your way.
Oh, I love it. That would be all right.
So-
That'd be great.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
That's right.
You guys should be sharing the couch.
Exactly. It's like, yeah. So I want to. I definitely want to do it. I have like a solid idea of, the format and the concept, and it's just getting there. But honestly, I'm enjoying my time. Just to take time for myself and be with family and just hang out. And I went to like a party with my friends who I had not seen in 6 months, and we talk every day. And they live like 10 minutes from me, but I haven't been able to do any like birthday party or just like my friends are having kids.
Right.
Haven't been able to like attend any of that. And it's just like one
Always
of
a
those things
gig.
that
Right.
really makes me upset. And so like getting back to that normalcy for a little bit is nice.
That's neat.
And we have like I'm doing these like really like funny like one-off things. Like I got booked as a judge for the Delaware Burger Battle, which is like fun. You know what I mean? It's just like there's no
Stop
pressure.
bragging.
I know. But like there's no
That's
pressure.
awesome. That's
You know what I mean?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless someone like shanks me outside for not picking their burger.
Right.
And then I might fear for that. But I'm doing the guest bartending gig.
Yeah.
Like there's no pressure.
That's
And I
cool.
think that's like it makes it fun again. So I want to get back to that mental state where like I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I'm having fun with it.
Right.
And that's why like I really enjoyed like the farewell tour with Aunt Mary Pat, and I made the joke out of it. It was like, if I suck tonight, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Because you're not coming back, neither am I.
Right.
So
It's true.
True.
I love the fans that post and comment and going, I just never got to see her perform live. What do you mean?
Where you been?
Where have you been? And that's one of the lines that Aunt Mary Pat uses. Like, where have you been? How is this your first time?
Dude,
Yeah.
if you missed that 5-year run, you weren't trying, man.
Yeah. And I honestly, we had a really, difficult time, especially with COVID and, trying to get like, especially older people back out to live venues and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
because, there's still like a health risk for people, some people. And
No doubt.
we had people like come out and they were like, I have not been out of the house in 2 years except
Yeah.
to see this show.
Right.
So
And I'm
cool.
so excited.
That's so cool.
So like it was nice.
Well, the first show that we did was at Nick's Roast Beef in Northeast Philly, and it was that time period where some people felt okay coming out of the car, and some people didn't, like stayed in the car, but some people then couldn't see. So I go, let's go up on top of the truck. Guess who's afraid of heights?
Oh boy.
Dude, in order for me to get up on the truck, I had to like stop, drop, and roll. Like I was on fire. I was so when
my
Aunt Mary
mom had to help him down.
Oh, I love it.
the ladder.
Yeah, well, the last 5 minutes, I got up and I just stayed there, and there's a picture of me going like this.
sitting on the food truck.
Yeah, and then some people came up to me after the show. They're like, one of our favorite parts of the show was watching you get up and off the truck.
Wow.
And I was like, it was one of those like moments where I was like, never in my life did I think I'd be standing in a Johnny Gymnastic parking lot outside of a roast beef place on top of a food truck performing for all these people in lawn chairs.
Yes,
And it was very humbling,
very humbling. Yeah,
Beautiful.
But yeah, that was like cool for me because like it was the first time like I had even like really like got out of the house.
Yeah.
And then, to do like a show again was really fun. Because like I was in the house, I think, for 3 solid months, and I was doing my best to do like Facebook Live and try to get creative
Bingo,
with that,
stuff like that.
bingos and stuff. But it just was like to the point where like I got sick of it, and I think people got burnt out too because everyone was on some sort of Instagram Live or Facebook Live.
There's so
and
much content.
So much
So
content.
much content.
And I was like, you know what? I just want to get back outside.
Yeah.
And I was like doing, shows in my backyard just to entertain myself. And that's when I did like a bunch of impersonations too. And then I was texting Joel and I was like, this is so fun for me right now to be able to like kind of do what I love to do. And, I'm putting it out there and there's no pressure because, people have so much to watch. They can just scroll past
Totally,
it.
man. Absolutely.
or stay tuned because it's so
Or stay
entertaining.
tuned.
Well, and that's where I think you still have the outlet of creativity as Miss Troy, because if people haven't been to a drag brunch, the one like when the song that comes on to tell people what to expect, but then you come on and MC, they're like, get out your dollar bills. Because drag queens are like strippers. You give strippers $1. I'm probably messing this up. He'll correct me. But I'm like, you give strippers to take their clothes off. Drag queens, you pay us dollars to keep this on.
Close. It was good. It was good. But yeah,
Yada yada yada.
Same-
Back to you.
same concept. You know. But yeah, like I when I thought of that, I was like, that's really the best way to describe it, because you know the tipping culture in drag is so intrinsic with the performances, and I was like, I kind of feel like a stripper, except I'm keeping everything on, and it's wonderful.
That's
Yeah,
great.
You know?
but it's so
great.
funny.
Yeah,
because some
yeah.
people have never been to a drag show. They didn't know to expect that. They're like, oh my goodness, I didn't bring wands. I'm like, they have changed.
Yeah. We're ready for
Well,
it.
we had people come to, we had a Sex in the City drag brunch here.
Oh, that's awesome.
And some people came, and they were not expecting a drag brunch. And they walk in, they were like, why is this not decorated like New York? What is going on here?
Why?
I
And they
just
were
thought it was a Sex in the City theme?
Yeah.
Oh,
They were,
where's Mr. Big?
they were so upset. And Joe was like, well, stay for the show. Like, no. What show? We're
Yeah.
leaving.
It was wild. Like they basically accused me of false advertising. They asked for things they were on the menu that weren't even advertised. They're like, well, where's all this, and this? I don't like this food. I go, all right, you want to come at me about the decorations, which you're still off base, but the menu is on there. And he was like, well, this was a surprise. Okay.
A surprise for who? You?
Yeah.
Who bought the tickets?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's the
right.
one.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then we had Daryl Hall was there that day.
Oh, that was that
And he
day.
got out of the car, and the drag brunches can be a little risque with the music. And it was, don't want no short dick, man. Daryl looks
18 plus, by the way.
Yeah, right. And he goes over and looks, what's going on over there?
Hey.
Hey. Yeah.
What an image, Daryl
Yeah.
Hall.
Well,
Walking across the parking
and his
lot listening to-
his brother-in-law with his English accent was like, you guys got the guys from Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern at night, and you got the drag brunch in the morning. Daryl Hall, you're doing a lot here. Terrible impersonation, by the way.
I was like, are you doing a British accent or?
I know British sounded like
Oh,
Delco.
I stink.
Tip, cheerio. Bring my tea. That's perfect, Joel. You're hired.
Oh God.
You could give tours in London.
Well, this is fun.
I feel like we've just been dogging you the whole time.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's what it usually turns into.
I think he likes it.
It's easy. Well, that's Brendan Donegan crushed that roast.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Oh, bro, yeah,
videos,
he
I mean,
did.
they're gone near viral. Not Aunt Mary Pat viral, but I mean, lots of hits.
No, he did great. And honestly, like, what really was so funny about the roast is we're all backstage, and Brendan's like, yeah, I mean, I wrote a couple things, but like, I don't really have like that much. But and he like read me a joke, and he was like, I mean, it's okay, but I don't know, I'm not sure. And then goes in like hot.
Yeah.
And then like, same with Missy Hall, and she was backstage. She's like, I don't really do roast. Like, I'm not a mean person. I don't like saying mean things to people. So it's really. And then she
Yeah.
obliterated everyone.
Thor's hammer.
Oh, pull your pants up. I go, oh God.
And
How long have you been holding on to that one?
I was like literally like it was just so funny because everyone was backstage, Gray and Tata and everyone, and they're like, yeah, like I mean, I have a few things,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's gonna work or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, these people,
They
and
walk
they
in.
all destroyed
Start
it.
flame throwing.
Yeah, and I was like, literally, like I was cackling on stage.
Yeah.
And like I was like, people probably think I'm deranged because I can't like stop laughing.
Yeah. Well, how about Gray West? You talk about Eagles jersey. He was wearing Brian Cox.
I think
Do
he
you
wore
get
that
it or
for a
no?
reason. But it was a long jersey. It looked more like a dresslet.
It's good for Gray for sure. Was he still wearing the boots? I forget.
Yes. Well, Brendan was thrown off because he wasn't wearing his typical, cheetah print shirt.
Yes.
And he had a joke
And he
about
Howdy,
that.
howdy,
He was-
fellas.
He was like, I wanted to be in character for the
Yeah.
for the event.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Grace Priceless.
Yeah, it was great.
What a lineup you had for that, man. That was
It was so good. And then Tata was great too. And she got up and she was like, I just want to say it. Crackers. I always wanted to call a group of people,
Yeah.
this large cracker.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, it was just great.
Well, and we talked about, I said everybody on stage had been late, and I go, and I get it. I go, but we've done shows now for this tour in the last couple of years, every day of the week, literally. And I'm talking Saturday, Sunday for brunch. Coming out of the state of Delaware, 100% traffic all the time, 100%.
Yeah. Well, 95 collapsed too. That was one of the reasons.
Oh, okay.
yes.
How about the other 364 days?
Look. I got told in high school on my report card, does not do well with time management.
Yeah.
And I can say that is something that's been consistent with me for my
Yeah.
whole life. I leave with intent. I was late tonight. I leave with intentions of being on time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I have enough time to like do this too.
Right.
Yeah.
And that takes forever.
Hilarious. Yeah. Well, it was like 7:15, and Jessica, the general manager, was like, "Oh, everybody's in there." I go, "Troy's here?" She's like, "Oh no, I don't think so." I go, "Oh yeah, that would have been way early." 45 minutes early, never.
But here's the thing though, like I try to like get to every show like an hour before I have to hit the stage. And then I'm like, if I go any earlier than that, I'm gonna sit there
Yeah.
bored. And
Well, that's what I said. I get there early, do the mic check. I mean, it's fine. If the show that we're working
Yeah.
on, I'm like, it's fine. They're like, no, what time's Aunt Mary Pat getting here? I'm like, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
I will be there.
Then a couple times I was like, ugh.
We're cutting it close.
Yeah.
I'm just not like I get too anxious
Yeah.
if there's too much time. I'm not like a sit backstage and read a book.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah,
Like we've done
downtime sucks.
some shows where like they'll message Joel like, we would need Aunt Mary Pat here 4 hours before showtime to do like a mic check, and then you get there, you do a 5-minute mic check, and then there's 3 hours before you have to.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
And
not
there's
taking a
on
nap.
stage.
Zero reason for that to
No.
ever have to happen.
I
Right.
know. It's like,
Zero.
You know your system, but then
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do it.
I feel like the shows that we have too much time from mic check to showtime always sounds worse than a show where like you go on stage and they have it preset and they know their system.
I'm so with you.
Yeah.
I'm so with you. Yep.
It just always happens.
And that was one of my good jokes that night. I said, everybody on this dais has been late for one reason. And I said the reasons why Aunt Mary Pat's been late. But I said, Brendan, he just became a father, so he had an excuse. I said, and then Gray West, a tree literally fell on 495
Yeah, I
coming
remember,
from
yep.
D.C. He
Yep.
almost missed the show. He was fine. I was like, don't worry about it, buddy. It's good. A bad storm. I go, but then Missy Hall and Tata were on the same show. Missy Hall, there was a truck fire. Tata is black. She just left late. She just left the house late. It's what it is.
And she admitted it was true.
Yeah, there was 3 black girls that day. They're like, you need to tell her the show started an hour before. And Tata goes, you're right. That's what I told him. I go, just don't tell me the show starts at 8. Tell me it starts at 7. I'll be there on time.
My mother is the same way. I literally have to start lying to her. And the 1 hour thing doesn't work anymore. I have to say 2 hours, so
Yeah.
she's only 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Well,
she asked for about bringing her friends. And I go, yeah, I want to be there to support Troy. No, I get it. So how many need? 20? Oh, no, not that. That's way too many. And I think she still rolled in with an entourage.
20.
Yeah.
Exactly, 20. And literally, I was doing my set, and I was watching, and she was talking to my cousin the entire time that I was talking, and then came up afterwards like, you were amazing. I was like, how would you know?
Yeah.
You weren't even watching.
so awesome.
White Claw in hand. They don't even sell White Claws. Where is she getting this stuff?
And that's what I love about you, too. You're very close with your family. Alan's close with his family. You're a very good gift giver. So
You're so close with your family, you live with them.
he won't leave his sister's basement.
We'll edit this in post. So you actually organized for your brother a wrestling event.
Yeah, well,
And you guys wrestled.
he actually set it up. He picked out the venue and did this
So
whole
that part
thing.
wasn't a surprise.
No. So for his 30th birthday, he wanted, and he's been talking about this for like 2 years. He wanted to have like a WWE style wrestling match, and so he goes to this place in
Dude,
Jersey.
it was wild.
Love it.
Part of the party, they trained everybody how to like safely land and all that kind of stuff. And then it was like a full wrestling match.
Signing waivers.
Yeah, I was like Michael Buffer, did like the Let's Get Ready to Rumble thing.
no way.
And hosted. And
Let's
did
get ready to rumble.
And him and my cousin had a tag team match with 2 professionals. And they
What?
did the whole, yeah, it was really
That's
cool.
so awesome.
Let's oil up, boys.
Here we go. Let's go,
Or
girls.
so I would imagine.
And I was like, I'll be Sable. You know, that's my character. But like, it was so fun. Everyone got into it. It was like really cool. And yeah, he was like thrilled. He was thrilled. It was a really fun event, actually.
So did he ended up getting out there, and he was a tag team or a single
Yeah,
event?
so him versus my cousin David.
Oh, okay.
But they let him win for his birthday.
Oh, they really?
Yeah. Well, I hate to break it to everybody out there, but wrestling is fake.
No.
They have to pre-plan the winner. Yeah.
It was a good heel.
It was a good heel.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And so,
That's
it was
cool.
it was just a really fun.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You had like planned it for 2 years, right?
Yeah. So right before he turned 28, he was like, this is what I want to do. Make it happen.
Oh, for his 30th. Right.
So we were originally going to rent a ring and do it in my mom's backyard, but it didn't
Which I would not put it past you.
didn't work out. So we found the venue in Jersey, and it was really amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Dream maker.
I wouldn't participate, but
Just
fun to watch.
Buffer. You go as far as buffer.
Sip.
Amazing. Amazing.
And I just go to Disney for my birthday. Different strokes, different folks.
Yeah.
Now, so do you have any vacations planned now? I know you just got back from.
I'm home for a little bit, but I'm going to Disney with David in September.
Okay, so that's how he
Halloween
gets away
party.
with it. He goes away with different people.
Yeah,
Like he's
So,
like, my
it's-
aunt's never been to Disney, so I got to take her there.
It's not my
I'm gonna-
vacation; it's their vacation.
Right, I'm doing
just
this for you.
tagging on.
Yes.
It's
Your Aunt Trina.
Yeah, I took Aunt Trina. Well, she goes to Disney a lot. But I took her to this hotel she'd never been to, and she was like, she always picks the cheapest one. She goes, I'm just laying my head down. I don't need anything fancy. But then I take her to the fancy. She goes, oh my God, I love it.
she the first time I met her, we're at the Valley Forge Casino, and she's in my ear going, "You got an extra room? I'm looking to get wild." By the way, this Aunt Mary Pat character, I don't care what Troy says, it's based off me, hun. I go, here you go. Here's a room. I don't,
Meanwhile, you got the room for her, and she left at 2:00 in the morning because she couldn't fall asleep.
I didn't know if we were going to talk about it, but yes.
And
I go, what a waste of a room. And you took a nap?
And she got wild that night. She had 2 Coors Lights.
Easy. Easy.
I know.
That's how I used to get
Getting
people
wild.
to my shows. I first produced shows. The first 2 were open bar. Well, my aunt drove with my grandmother all the way from Pittsburgh. She would take
boy.
2 Coors Lights, pound one, and then walk back to the seat with one because she didn't want her mom to see her double fisting.
Oh, that's great, man.
And that's why I got into comedy.
And that's why people thought it was funny.
Mic drop. Let's end it.
Right? Oh, man.
But you pull from different inspirations from your different family.
I am such an observer. Like, I like to take in and like that's why I like going to like theme parks and stuff. If you just like, especially going by yourself and you're not like talking to someone the whole time and you just watch.
Yeah.
Like, mental bank.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
amount of-
especially at those places like theme parks.
Yeah.
Because you get all walks of life from everywhere, every country, every state.
Yeah, you watch people who like speak a different language and you can't understand a word they're saying, but you know the tone.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
exactly what they're
Right.
saying.
They're excited. They're
Yeah.
upset.
They're always upset. Like, I don't understand why couples
One tone.
But here's like it's like I would say like 8 out of 10 couples who go to Disney with their kids are on the brink of divorce. If you want to stay married, don't go to a theme park with your children.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Especially in the Florida heat.
Oh.
How many couples got divorced after Disney? I'm taking a poll.
Yeah, right. That's a great point.
Mine. He just made me think of it. I can remember still being in line for a ride and my dad took off.
Oh yeah.
Now we
You made it work.
made it work. But a couple years later, no.
It's always so funny, like the people who like take the one picture of their kids smiling in front of the castle and like oh my God, McKelty had an amazing time at Disney, 2 years old. And I was like, you're ignoring like the other, 99% of the time when she was crying and threw a fit and probably shit her diaper and
Yep.
you're miserable and like screaming at your family. Let's just pretend.
You know what's crazy? You are right on the money. That was my parents' last stand.
Was
That
it really
my
a theme
parents'
park?
last stand was a
I'm
trip
ta-
to fucking Disney. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
We
was
went there when
Disney?
yeah.
Wasn't Hershey Park?
Yeah. No.
Little too close to home?
Yeah.
Dorney Park?
Yeah, Dorney.
Was it Dutch Wonderland? Admit it.
Chernobyl.
That's it. Yes. Oh man, that's so funny. That was the last. Yeah, that was it. They
I'm
were
telling
divorced
you.
6 months later.
Yeah.
riot.
Vacations ruin marriages. You know?
That's perfect.
So you see it time and time again.
Oh,
No
yeah.
matter what Tokyo. Well, you haven't been to Tokyo, but like all the different parks, same thing.
Yeah. And I don't want to put anyone's business out there, but I'm just saying there are a few husbands that get on Grindr after the wife goes to bed. But you didn't hear it from me. Not that I would know.
They're
right.
they're looking for a little more than Mickey Mouse.
Gosh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wow. That's one Magic Kingdom.
Easy boy.
Now you're just being goofy.
I was just I thought okay.
But yeah, it's true. Have you ever done the Tower of Terror?
No.
I feel like with your fear of heights, that would be something fun to film.
Now
you
is that
doing.
new? I haven't been there since I haven't been like 2006.
It came out in like '89.
Oh.
But I think you probably avoided like the plague.
Then maybe yes.
You're like, oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Where's the carousel? Yeah, right. That's on the ground.
Yeah.
Then maybe I have. Yeah, it's terrifying. Yeah. I roller coasters. I like them, but like for a while, but when I get first on them, I'm like, this isn't gonna be good.
Yeah, see, I'm like, because just like anxiety. I hate like the click, click, click that takes forever to get to the point. Like the new like launch coasters are all for me because you have no time to be afraid.
Oh.
It just takes off.
They don't
0 to
wind
60.
you up. They just funk.
Just shoot you out.
Yeah.
Well, I start thinking, I'm like, when you always hear like bad things happen, I'm like, is this gonna be the time? Like, I don't even know why my mind goes that way.
Oh yeah. Like I'm a nervous laugher, so like in my head I'm like, oh, what's the worst thing that can happen right now?
Meanwhile, I'm also thinking about the nerds that designed this. I'm like, this is amazing. I don't even know the velocity and the angles and all that stuff.
Just what I always try to tell myself is like, especially in those situations, like if you have a fear of flying or driving or roller coasters, just say the worst thing that could happen right now is that you shit your pants, literally.
Yeah.
And then like everything else doesn't seem as bad.
Solid. I like that. That's solid.
I've always had that fear of walking on stage.
No.
Yeah, like walking on stage.
That's what I'm saying. You don't seem like you get nervous at all ever.
Oh, I don't. But I'm saying my fear is like, what if you walk on stage and just crap your pants?
Oh.
You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like
Can't-
deal with it?
Can't blame it on the Cabernet.
Can't blame it on that. Especially because I wear like jock straps, so that would just be a whole mess.
Wait.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Wait. Let's dissect this onion one layer
Take
at a
that
time.
visual with you guys.
Wait. I know you said afraid, but has anything happened?
No. Never.
I'm asking for a friend.
I think until it happens, you're always going to be afraid.
Oh, right.
But like,
boy.
you know, like that's like, you know, some people are like, oh, if you ever get nervous, just like look out in the audience and pretend everyone's in their underwear.
Right.
That'll
Yeah.
calm you down. I was like, just walk on stage, and if you didn't shit your pants, you're going to have a good show.
Yeah, why say that?
I like that.
I don't know. It's my thing.
Yeah.
I like
No. But I'm saying people like.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why people in their underwear would calm you down.
Yeah.
No, I tried it when I was a teenager. I just got a hard on.
Yeah. See, that would be my fear too. I don't know.
So I was telling the story on the morning show, Mornings with Mike, and that we did a talent show.
You have a morning show?
Morning show, yeah.
Oh wow.
Burning
Burn the candles at both ends. Huh?
It's okay. I follow you. You don't have to follow me on social media.
Actually, I did see the show because I was trying to figure out what room you were filming in.
Oh yeah, it's this one.
Oh.
So yeah, welcome. But we're talking about I ran for Mr. Morristown. It was the senior year. It was a big thing. We always tradition we did in our high school. Everybody did a talent. One guy like ate hot dogs.
What did you do?
Insert. I'll tell you.
That was a joke. By the way.
Yeah. Right. I dressed up and did Barbie.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Barbie girl?
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
1998. I know. I didn't know years later I'd be managing drag queens.
What did you dress in?
I went to the local thrift store. I bought a dress. I was a little smaller, but it was still a big dress. So, yeah, a wig, and then I bought a red bag, like purse, and I painted Soul Joel on it.
Oh, the Soul Joel was on it.
You were
Yeah.
still Soul Joel back then?
I was Soul Joel back then.
Wow.
Yeah, soccer nickname.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I lost, but it was fun.
Everyone had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Well, if I lost, I was like, that character lost. I was talented.
Right. It's Barbie's fault,
Yeah.
not mine. It's Barbie.
And so you wouldn't see the movie out of principle, right?
Yeah, it's still holding the grudge.
That's so true. No, but I would see it, but all my nieces and nephews went without me.
Oh,
When am I supposed to go now? PG-13, be like, one, please.
ticket for one.
Hey, Alan, what are you up to on Sunday? You want to go to brunch and catch the matinee?
It was a good movie.
Wow.
Ooh, buddy.
Oh boy.
But do you ever feel that too? That like your inside character, whether it's Miss Troy or Aunt Mary Pat, that like what you're saying is not in your voice, or like you that makes it less nervous or less.
I'm definitely less nervous when I'm in character because it's not necessarily me.
Yeah.
So like my fears don't really matter at
Right.
that point. And like even with like Aunt Mary Pat, like when I'm thinking in character. I'm not.
Right, which I think
Thinking
is
of it.
equally as
Yeah.
hard.
Interesting.
Because whenever you snap back at someone, you snap back in character with you. She says, my husband Larry, when
Yeah.
his boyfriend in real life's name is Danny.
Right.
And it's
yeah.
always like
you're
so.
living. You're in it. fully.
You have to kind of like switch, and I think that's what makes the best characters.
Right.
And that's what makes them very believable. Even though people look at me and I have a beard in this character, they still are like, "You really work at Acme?
Right. Like that's the part
That's really
true.
your husband?"
And the reason why I brought that up is because the last year in Royersford we did Queer and Under the Dome, and we had Jessica Curson and Emma Willman, and you went up as the first time for that I know as Troy Hendrickson,
Comedy, yeah.
comedy, and the intro song,
I was shitting bricks.
man, I feel like a woman,
Absolutely.
which I thought was hilarious right off the bat.
Perfect.
Right? And he goes, I'm going to do 10. Comes off an 8. Goes, whew. I go, how do you think I feel every day?
Yeah, that was like, going on as Aunt Mary Pat and doing like 60 to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It flies by.
Right.
Going up there as me and feeling like so vulnerable.
Yes.
Like 8 minutes, it felt like an hour. And I was like,
Right. But it's also like the timing and everything like that. You're working out the new jokes.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
lot.
it's like talking about my life instead of this made up character's life.
Right.
And there's certain things in Aunt Mary Pat stuff that's in my
Relatable,
life.
right.
Relatable. But, to go up there like and you just feel so exposed.
Right.
And like, I don't know. That was like the scariest thing for me
right.
I've ever done.
And telling the truths and everything. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Trying to get the reaction because most of the people that came out were the Aunt Mary Pat fans.
Right. Oh, that, yeah. And
So-
they're seeing this for the first time.
Yeah. And I felt like there was like a few like pity laughs. Like they were like, I want him to feel good. Like,
Right.
and then I noticed, like, I don't know if you ever noticed, but like anytime I do like a newer joke or something and it may not land the way I think it does, my mom cackles louder to try to make me feel good, which lets me know I messed up and did worse.
It's an instant thing to
Yeah,
you
right.
now, yeah.
She's like,
Oh, yeah.
like, oh God, that sucked, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, try doing that for 15 years like I have. You start to come up with so many lines. You're like, well, that joke will never get old. I told that joke for the first and last time.
right.
And you're like, you just keep going. You're
Put
like,
that one away.
Yeah.
His famous bomb deflectors. I love him. He'll
Yeah.
kill off of the bomb.
right.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily laugh loud because of that reason, but I do see in the performer's face, because I'm a performer at heart, and I see in their face, like I saw that going much differently.
Yeah. Well, that's like the thing. Like, I mean, a lot of comedies is trial and error, and like,
Yeah.
the best people, like, they'll tell jokes, for the 50th time, but like the first time is definitely not the same as the last time they told it. you
Right.
know? Jokes evolve over time and
around.
morphs around, and you play with things like you play with timing, and you play with order, and like doing like the show for so long, I knew where to pause
Right.
at that point and wait for the reaction and
Right.
that kind of stuff, and that just takes time. And I think like that's like what I try to like give to new performers is, you're gonna mess up, and you're gonna mess up a lot, and it's probably gonna be uncomfortable for a little bit, but if you really want to do it, just keep refining
Right.
what works, and maybe even if you like a joke, it may not work, just save it for yourself. Tell it in the mirror.
But that's why I also think the fans have related to you because some of them may be outcasts themselves, but you've created inclusive fan base that they love coming out to the Christmas tour to be. You've become their family.
Yeah.
I think.
It's really cool.
Well,
That's
even
really
like
cool.
people like who told me like they'd never been to like a comedy show before,
Which is still wild to
came
me.
to it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they wanted to come to Smokey Joe's and have a good time. You know,
There was a lady that came to Stone Harbor. She was 77 years old and told us it was her first comedy show.
Get out.
ever
Like, where have you been?
Wow.
bingo halls. That's what she
Yes,
said.
yes, yes.
I mean, who has time for everything? Yeah.
Not me.
Was a couple other questions that you wanted to get to, or
The only one thing I wanted to bring up, and you touched on it a little bit with Mom here and there, but
Yeah.
it sounds like you just have an awesome relationship with your mom, and
Yeah.
been super supportive through everything you've gone through in your life. It just seems really cool. I watched an interview where she was on with you,
Yeah.
and she seems like such a sweetheart. I've never met her, but
She is like we've always been very close, and like me and my mom made me always feel like I could be myself, and like I never had to like not tell her something.
it's so cool.
You know, we talk about everything, for better or for worse, everything. And even like now, like she's the first person I call in the morning, and we just check in with each other. I'm really close with my brother, my sister, and we just have a really, tight bond. And like I am so grateful that I have a family where I don't have to like be a version of myself.
Right.
I can just be like, the good, the bad, the ugly,
Just
and
be
then
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Not everybody has that. That's awesome.
My
Really cool.
son's 18th birthday party was this past Sunday, and like we got our family together. Danny's family was there, my family was there, and like it's because his family's like that too.
Yeah.
It's just everyone being themselves, not afraid to like mess up or say something or has to act a certain way or behave a certain way, and
Beautiful thing.
yeah, and I'm like that with my family too, and it's just it is really cool, and we're very close, and she is just she's been through so much in her life that she's my hero for sure.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about her reaction when you put up that first video that blew up.
Oh,
good question.
put it up, and she called me. She was like, she calls me LT, little Troy. She goes, LT, take it down now. I don't want it up there. Everyone's going to know it's about me, and if the people at work see it, then I'm done.
Dude, you talk about paranoia.
And then the next day, it started, after it took off, and
Yeah.
I was getting interviewed. She goes, "Yeah, it's about me, and it's a real nice thing." And I was like, oh.
Well, at least you said works at Acme, so it's like completely. Well, eventually.
"Yeah." Eventually, she worked at Acme, and I was like, "Mom, the hair's not the same. You don't have a bang, But like, yeah,
But her tune changed.
her tune always changes. I call her the most unintentionally funny person in the entire world.
Oh, I love it.
And then she'll call me sometimes, and she'll be like, "Oh, you're never gonna believe what happened." And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "I was at the Dollar Tree and I fell into the shopping cart, and I am just mortified." And then she'll pause and she'll be like, "Oh, you're gonna make a video about that, aren't you?" And I'm like, "No."
Well, I'm not going to bring up names, but it's funny that some of the stories that you say under Aunt Mary Pat have actually happened to her.
Oh yeah, pretty much all of them.
All of them.
All of them had happened in some fashion
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
I won't say which ones, but
Right.
or my Aunt Bobby, like just it's just funny things that, like I said, I'm an observer first and foremost. So like everything that I'm like, oh, that's funny, I'll store it in my head. But I'm also like, I try not to react. I'm like, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Right.
But I'm also going to make a video about this tomorrow.
Mental
Yes. Well, and his Aunt Bobby is from my dad's hometown, where all four of my grandparents went to high school.
Oh, out by Pittsburgh?
Out by Pittsburgh.
Uniontown.
She's one of the
Uniontown,
she's
okay.
one of the few people from the 15401 that got out.
Yeah. She got out at 18. Never
Oh.
looked back, except for those 2 years.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Wow. But that was like the funniest thing, because obviously she's a yinzer, not a user. So, she had to really change her. She was working the merch table, and she was like, "Yins." I was like, "We don't say yins here, Aunt Bobby. You got to change it around. We don't say pop. We say
Yeah.
cake."
Right,
You know?
right.
But we'll be sitting in the back, and obviously, like I said, there's one show for the audience, there's one show for the comics, and when Aunt Mary Pat's on stage, she'll be elbowing, she goes, "That's about me," and I'm like, it's hilarious. I'm like, it's not a good story,
But it's about me.
but they want to take credit where credit's due.
exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
Some people not going to their purses for lunch. Perhaps
people
dinner.
bringing their own sodas to a restaurant. But I won't name names.
Yeah, the road soda. And you're like, that's not even classy. You're like, you're not even smuggling alcohol. It's Coca-Cola,
Yeah, hot
RC
sauce,
Cola.
I mean-
Yeah, don't do it.
Give them credit. It might be the hard stuff like Mountain Dew. You don't know.
Hard stuff. You don't know. Got an old jolt.
Surge.
Yeah.
Surge.
So do you think at any point you might bring the character back?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I love the character, and I love what it's done for me. And I'm forever grateful that that is something that people loved and found humorous and found entertaining. And it's still, like, I was thinking on the drive up here, I was like, it still boggles my mind that many people paid money to come out and see Lil Me.
Yeah.
And
so cool. Such a cool feeling.
it is cool, and like I'm so grateful. Like, and I always try to make that clear because I've been in a position where I've overdrafted my account trying to put $5 of gas in my tank to make it to work to try to buy lunch.
Right.
And I know that I have like got the last few $20 together to go to a show that I really needed to see.
Yeah.
To make me happy or just to make me feel sane or good.
Yes.
So I am so grateful, and I think every entertainer has to be super appreciative of that because you don't know, one, what that person's going through, and they might just need a night out of their house before they go crazy,
Right.
or they might just need a break from reality and just have that moment.
Yeah.
But you also don't know like what people's financial situation is, and
Right.
they may like get to a venue where they pre-bought the ticket and they only have $3 on them to get a beer and relax. So,
Right. The sacrifice
someone
they
won.
made.
Yeah.
Hey.
but yeah, the sacrifice they made, and like I think it's easy for people to take that for granted, and that's like a self-reflection thing that I always try to do, and
awesome.
think about, because I've been there and I know how it feels. I've been to those seats way in the back where you have to look at the monitor to see what's going on stage.
Right.
You're right.
And that's it's easy to be in that situation. So
I love that you have that perspective.
For sure.
It's cool.
For sure. Because once you live it, you appreciate it. And, it's so hard these days for people just to even get out of the house or find the time for themselves to sit back and not be in charge, but just to be the passenger, the observer, to not have that pressure. And like, that's what I've been trying to do with like my time off is like go to a show and watch someone that I love, kill it on stage and just
that's
be
cool.
able to not be,
What's that like? Are you able to?
Yeah, I love
are.
it.
You love it?
I
That's
am
awesome.
such a big fan of.
Like those bitches aren't anything.
No, I don't think that way.
Those queens.
Well, I mean,
No.
I've had a moment where I'm like, oh.
I know because queens love the drama.
But like, I went to a drag show recently, and I was just in awe of how people can entertain and pull you in, and you forget about the world. And like, I'm not a judgmental person by nature. Like, I am so easily entertained that if someone goes out there and they're enjoying themselves, then I'm like into it.
You're in.
Okay.
So I think it's really cool that if anyone's brave enough to put themselves out there like that, I'm definitely invested to see what they do.
So
love
like
that.
what you had a picture with Summer.
Yeah.
Who's Danny.
Oh, at the Barbie show?
The Barbie show.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a produced show that you had, or you were not involved at all. You were just there as a.
It was our production company, but I didn't
okay.
perform that day. I helped out by playing the music. I won't even call it a DJ. I just hit the button.
Okay.
But it was a Barbie show, so I did the line. I was like, "She's everything. I'm just Ken." That day, and
To you.
but I kind of like. I like taking the back seat sometimes. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to let other people shine because
I'm totally with you, man. I'm a musician. I played in bands from 16 years old, and I've discovered comedy. I'm not a performer. I'm a musician. But I love just coming to comedy shows and just being entertained.
Yeah.
I've had the pressure on me for 25, 30 years, man, of going up and playing 3 hours a night. You know what I mean? It's nice to just sit there and laugh.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it to death.
We did a show, we played with this great like '80s tribute band, and we did like a performance part, and they did a performance part. They're class of '84,
Okay.
really great musicians.
Cool.
And the last part, they were like, "Let's do songs together," and I was like, "Great!" And we pre-picked the songs, and like they wanted me to sing the whole time. And I was like, no, I want to hear you guys. Like, I have a terrible voice. Let you sing, and I'll just like, say some words in the background, because they were so impressive that I'm like, I'm that kind of person. Like, you're much better than me.
Right.
You have this moment, and I'll just, let you shine, because I know where my, talent lies and where my talent doesn't lie.
Right on, right on.
Well, let me tell you, I was at Valley Forge too many nights where I had a great show and the whole production went well. I killed it up top. 11, 12 minutes sometimes. But then I would try to go to karaoke. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't need an additional high.
We go to karaoke.
Yeah. You had a good
Gotta
night.
keep the flame burning.
Call it
baby.
a night. I should have took a page out of your book.
No, I love karaoke, and here's why. There's no pressure to be good.
Yeah.
Everyone expects you to
Is
be bad.
there?
It depends what karaoke night you go to.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say a bold but controversial statement. If you're like a good singer, don't go to karaoke, you bitch. You make everyone feel bad about themselves.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I was a 10 or 2, 4 years in high school, but I'm talking.
10 or 2.
That's the lower part. Because I'm a man.
You didn't have to reiterate that, but you did. You have nothing to prove, Joel.
Yeah. Well, I found out a new because I'm an ally, but I learned out a new term. We say play for the other team. They question me and go, "Is Joel a team member?"
Oh, okay.
Is he family?
Oh, family. I like that. Nice.
You see how I went like this? Juicy.
I would say you have at least 3 drag queens in our cast that would give you the time of day. And actually, they made it very clear that they would do more than give you the time of day.
By the way,
How many times have you come into the dressing room and slowly backed out of the room?
how many shows have we done? I'd say all of them. But one of them, I'm not going to say their name.
Tonga?
They, them. No.
Morgan?
No. Well, I heard Latanga gets handsy in a hot tub.
Anytime I'm in the hot tub at night, I'm like, everyone keep your hands where we can see it.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but one of the other queens said, "Listen, I'm in an open relationship." I go, I paid you guys. Good night.
Did you need... Well, Morgan was like, do you think Joel looked at me? I was like,
Oh.
I don't think so, Morgan. I think Joel just looked across the bar to make sure that everyone's okay.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So you're very popular.
I love how Troy didn't even use the microphone that was in his hand. He had to use his other hand.
I know how to hold a mic.
By the way, this one over here. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We can't wait to find out what's next for you. And,
I can't either.
Miss Troy PHL on Instagram, right? And what's the best way to people to get a hold of you? But I guess that.
Don't. I'm busy. I'll have my people call you.
Yeah.
No, like, Instagram Messenger. I would say, like, I get, like, the way Facebook works. Is,
Yeah.
You don't.
I meant follow you and stuff like that. Not like
I would say,
directly message.
Well, they can, but like you don't see the messages. So if like you ever want to contact me, Instagram is the best way because I always see those.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Troy PHL and Mary Pat's page is still up, and we have some fun content coming for that shortly. And just stay tuned, and hopefully. My next big idea is just a shitty wig away.
At least your next Disney is a couple weeks away.
It's a month away. It's actually 32 days away. Not that I'm counting.
No, who's counting?
I don't know.
No, not me.
Not me. Oh, boy.
Well, Alan Hill, Troy Hendrickson, Soul Joel. This has been Bring 'Em Out. See ya.
Thank you.
Oh, that was awesome.